Good morning, champions, and happy Wednesday. Yesterday, you did a great job dividing using multiplication facts. Today, we're going to divide using multiplication facts again, but we're going to have remainders. I know you're going to do great, and Mr. Smiles knows you're going to do a great job. Let's jump right in. First, look at your fluency on the bottom of page 2. Fill in your multiplication charts. When you're finished filling in your multiplication charts, raise your hand so that Mr. Gibson can come give a check to you to say you're ready to move on. Now that you're finished with your multiplication charts, let's start our do now. What's 218 times 14? Let's check your work. 218 times 14. When I multiply 218 times 14, I start by multiplying 218 by 4. 8 times 4 is 32. Carry my 3. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 more is 7. 4 times 2 is 8. I'm finished with my 4, so I'm going to drop my 0 because 1 is in the tens place. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 1 is 1. And 1 times 2 is 2. Now I can add. 2 plus 0 is 2. 7 plus 8 is 15. 1 plus 8 plus 1 is 10. And 1 plus 2 is 3. The answer is 3,052. Now you try one. 313 times 24. 313 times 24 is 7,512. Check your work with mine. Now let's move on to our 3-digit multiplication. Remember, when I multiply by 3 digits, I can break it apart into 3 separate multiplication problems and then add my partial products. I'll start with 3 times 514. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 more is 4. 3 times 5 is 15. I'm finished with my 3, so I would cross out the 3 and the 1 and drop a 0 because 1 is in the tens place. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 5 is 5. I'm finished with my 1, so I would drop 2 zeros because 2 is in the hundreds place. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 5 is 10. Now I can add to find my product. 2, 8, 5 plus 1 is 6, plus 8 is 14. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 5 is 7, plus 2 more is 9. 0 and 1. The answer is 109,482. Now you try one. What's 415 times 117? The correct answer is 48,555. Check your work with mine. Now let's move on to division for today. Just like yesterday, multiplication is the opposite of division, so we can use multiplication to help us divide. Let's start. Erica has 18 strawberries to pack into snack bags. She packs 5 strawberries in each snack bag. How many snack bags can she fill, and how many will be left over? What is this problem asking us to do? And why? Well, we are taking 18 strawberries and splitting them into groups of 5. And we want to find out how many are in each bag. Because we're sharing evenly, we are dividing. Let's draw a model to show this problem. Well, I can draw 5 strawberries at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's one snack bag. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's another. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16, 17, 18. So I can see that I'm going to have 3 full bags with 3 left over. Now, I can also do that using the standard algorithm. First, let's list our multiples of 5. 5 times 1, 5 times 2, 5 times 3, 5 times 4, 5 times 5, 5 times 6, 5 times 7, and 5 times 8, and 5 times 9. Write those multiples of 5 down on your paper now and solve them. Now that I've got my multiples of 5, I can use those to help me divide. I'm going to solve using the standard algorithm, so I'm going to write 18 divided by 5. What this is asking me is how many groups of 5 can I take out of 18? Well, I can see that 5 times 3 is 15 and 5 times 4 is 20. I don't have 20, so 3 is the closest I can get to 18 without going over. I'm going to place my 3 at the top where the quotient goes. Now, my next step would be to multiply to see how many strawberries I used. 3 times 5 is 15. So I used 15 strawberries filling up snack bags. Now I can subtract to see how many are left over. 8 minus 5 is 3. 1 minus 1 is 0. I have no more strawberries to divide into groups, so my answer is 3, remainder 3. So when I'm dividing, I can follow 4 steps. First, divide. Split the largest place value into equal groups. Then, multiply to see how many you used in your groups. After I multiply, I can subtract to see how many are left over. And you won't do this today, but when we get into larger place values, we'll bring down to decompose into the next unit. Let's do another example. Elijah has 23 baseball cards in his collection. He is placing them into an album where each page holds 4 cards. How many full pages will he have? How many cards will be on the last page? Well, I know that this problem is asking me to divide 23 cards into groups of 4 cards. I'm going to start by listing the multiples of 4. 4 times 1, make sure you do this on your paper. 4 times 2. 4 times 4. 4 times 5. 4 times 6. 4 times 7, 4 times 8, and 4 times 9. Go ahead and answer those multiples now. Now that I have my multiples written down, I can solve my problem. 23 divided by 4. Remember, I need to see how many groups of 4 I can take out of 23, or how close I can get to 23 without going over. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 6 is 24. I don't have enough for 24. So I know that I can make 5 groups. So 5 goes at the top. Next I would multiply. 5 times 4 is 20. Subtract, and I know I have 3 left over. So there will be 5 full pages, full groups, with 3 on the last page. 5, remainder 3. Now you try a few. What's 9 divided by 2? How many groups of 2 can I take out of 9, and how many would be left over? Well, I can count by 2's, and I know that 4 times 2 is 8, and 5 times 2 is 10. So 5 is too big. I have 4 groups. 4 times 2 is 8, and I can subtract to see that I have 1 left over, or 4, remainder 1. Try another. What's 37 divided by 5? Well, I know that 5 times 7 is 35. That's as close as I can get without going over. 7 times 5 is 35, and when I subtract, I have 2 remaining. 7, remainder 2. Try the next one. What's 38 divided by 8? Well, I know that I can get to 32 by multiplying 8 times 4. 8 times 5 would be 40. That's too big. 4 times 8 is 32. Subtract, and I have 6 left over. 4, remainder 6. What's 5 divided by 2? 5 divided by 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. And when I subtract, I have 1 left over. You've done a great job with this video. Go ahead and complete the page of practice.